Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this session, the starting session of an 8-week series where we will go over the different aspects of Power BI. My name is Hassam Mohsine, and I am the lead for Microsoft Reactor in Middle East and Africa. The reactors are hubs where founders and developers come to meet, learn, and connect to local peers, as well as meet industry leading experts and learn from them all about what's happening in the technology space, all the interesting insights and trends. And in this series, we are joined by David Evo, who is the cloud advocate for Power BI, who's currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us, David.
Yeah, thank you for this. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
So
Thank
we
you.
have had several conversation over the past months and weeks, and I would say also it was an interesting time when we came together in the community spotlight, and we talked a little bit about what is going to happen in the coming 8 weeks in this Power BI series. So maybe let's share a little bit of that with the community members that are with us on the live stream today.
Okay. Hi, everybody. If you're in Nigeria, please just type it in the YouTube channel. I'm coming back to watch that. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in Lagos, anywhere that you are, if you're Africans, this is the major thing that we wanted to do for people majorly in Africa. But anywhere that you are all over the world, Middle East, Europe, in the South America, in the North America, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching. Now, the goal is that we are trying to see how we bring in more Africans, more Nigerians into the products that Microsoft offers. And one of the I products that we have is Power BI. A whole lot of people are going into data analytics, data science, data engineering, visualization, experts, and they just want to understand what Power BI is. And I run communities, LinkedIn, on Twitter, and I understand when people say, "Oh, I want to learn Power BI. I want to learn Power BI," and this is one of the major ways that we're trying to see how Microsoft Reactors, the programs that Microsoft Reactor do, how it comes into play to help Africans learn more about Power BI.
Awesome. So excited to have you with us, David, and with this partnership over the next 8 weeks. We're going to have you and we're going to have MVP speakers from the region talking to us all about Power BI and how we can utilize data, turn it into a coherent, visually immersive, interactive insights, and all those interesting stuff. So before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that this is the first session, and since it's a Microsoft event, we all follow this code of conduct. Basically, it's the 6 major points. We are all here to learn, so let's be friendly, patient, aware of each other, welcoming and respectful, kind and considerate to others at all time, and open to all viewpoints and questions. This is pretty much what is being said there. And throughout the session today and the series, make sure that you are also part of the meetup community, which I will share later in the chat. Join us on Meetup, RSVP to the coming 7 parts. So today is the kickoff session, first session, and then there will be one happening every week, same time and same day. So we'll come together to learn from David and from other experts all about Power BI and how to advance in this field. And yeah, well, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I see lots of interaction from different parts, some in Europe, some in Africa, some in the Middle East. Again, super excited about this. I want to see all the community members in the chat telling us where they are joining us from. There will be lots of content that we will be discussing. So let's keep this a friendly and interactive environment in the chat. So share as much as questions that you can, and we will cover them also during these sessions. So I'm going to go off stage now, leave the stage to Abu and David. Abu, and please share your screen so that we can start today's presentation.
Okay, so I'm trying to share my screen. Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's coming now. I think, yeah, all good. All right, so I'm gonna go off stage. All yours, David.
Okay, so thank you for those who are currently watching. I want you to do something for me. I have some people on Twitter right now who are having issues connecting to this. Please just tweet the link, tweet the link, or just go to my profile and tweet about it, so that other people can join. If you can do that for me in just 2 minutes, I will appreciate that. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. The goal of this 8 weeks, so it's an 8 weeks training vibe. Training module session whereby different MVPs will be taking us through the different parts of Power BI. So right now, what we'll be doing today is more of introduction into Power BI, into the world of Power BI, and we'll be seeing some little things about analytics. But from next session, from next week, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. West African time, we are going to be looking at each different topics, and we are going to be seeing it as we go on. So now I want to appreciate these people who are really busy set of people, but they are making out time to make sure that they help us, give us their wealth of knowledge, depending on their different topics that they'll be taking throughout the 8 weeks. Ayodeji Folari is one of my boss here in Nigeria, and I'm happy to see him. That is going to be sharing his knowledge. Also, we have Olafusi. All of them are all Microsoft MVPs. So you're going to be speaking with experts. You'll be asking questions from experts, and you'll be learning more about the things they do and how you can learn Power BI more from them. So Ahmed Oyelowo, Adewale Yusuf, all these are people who I'll be working with throughout the next 8 weeks to teach us different parts of Power BI as we go. So if you're just learning Power BI for the first time, or you want to learn Power BI for the first time, or you know Power BI, and there's just some things that you might just not be aware of, I think this training is going to help you understand Power BI more, and you can build up your knowledge from there. So it is beginner friendly, and also for those in the intermediate, maybe there are some things that you're not sure of. You can also be in this session, in this series, for you to learn more. So the different topics that we'll be learning throughout the 8 weeks, their introduction into data analysis using Power BI. That's what we are currently doing today. The connecting of different data sources. How do you connect to different data sources? From web, from Excel, CSV, SharePoint. You want to understand SQL, connecting from SQL. You might see some of those things in the next in the series. Transforming data in Power Query, how you understand Power Query on its own, how do you understand? Now you'll be having data modeling itself, DAX, report analytics in Power BI, the collaboration in Power BI service, and using AI visuals for advanced analytics. So these are the things that we're going to cover in the next 8 weeks, and really it's going to be very cool for you to be in this series from beginning to the end, and I would love you to be in this training. So this is me. I work with Microsoft, and also I make sure that people fall in love with Power BI. I work with the Power Platform Advocacy team, with April and Gomo, beautiful and good people who are helping the work of advocacy for Power Platform reach a bigger audience in the whole world. So now what we are trying to do is that we want to see Power BI and want to ask questions. What is data analysis really in Power BI? And that's what we want to look at today. What is data analysis when people say, oh, data analysis? Now, from the olden days, or from time, it takes a whole lot of time for people to analyze their report or analyze their data. We started from having statisticians who are using a whole lot of data sets to analyze the report. You have so many statistics formulas that people use. You have your average, your mean, your median, and advanced ones that people use. But over time, it has gone up, and we have seen how different companies now produces or created softwares or tools that helps us to analyze data faster, quicker, and better. Because one thing is that business are moving at a very faster pace. Even with what COVID has done, decisions are being made on the fly. So how do we analyze these data sets? How do we make sure that these data sets are clean and are easy to analyze and easy to report and easy to even collaborate? And one of the tools that we have right now has been Power BI. And Microsoft created this tool, but it started all the way from Excel. So if you go to Excel and you go to get data, you will notice Power Query, and that is where it started from. Power Query plus Power Pivot give us the Power BI that we have today. And in 2022, now we are now 7 years old using Power BI. Now, Power BI, full name for Power BI is the Power Business Intelligence, and what you're trying to do is to take data, make informed decision, insight for business use, for business solutions. So, data analysts are people who make sure that their data create more insight for business. So it's more tilted into the business solution, really. So let's go into what we have. Now, analytics can transform raw data into an assertive collection of information that categorizes data, and you analyze patterns data. You are analyzing report, you are analyzing data sets to become insight. And those are the major things that you're trying to do. And one thing is that if you're analyzing data sets and it's not making business sense, is not making business reporting sense, at the end of the day, you're not really doing data analysis. The goal of data analysis is to make informed decision, is to get insight, and we're going to be looking at that today when we start working. Now, there's so many complex things that we do before by engineers in the olden days for us to analyze this data set. But now we are now getting into a level whereby everybody are now becoming data literate, whereby they understand the data set and they understand the things that they are looking for. So even though you are not a data analyst, it's good for you to become a data literate. So people are now understanding how to analyze their data set depending on the department that they are in. So that is why I love Power BI. Either you're in the construction industry, education industry, you're in the finance industry, telecommunication industry, any industry that you are in, Power BI has the capability to make sure that any data sets coming from any location, they are able to analyze them, they are able to create more insight from them. One beautiful thing about Power BI is the embedded machine learning and AI inside of them. And we might try to look at one or two of them for us to see what Power BI can do. And in the next 8 weeks, you are going to now see the power of Power BI, the DAX, the advanced analytics using AI visuals, and the power of even Power Query when you're trying to clean your data set. And is one of the beautiful things. A few minutes ago, before we come on stage, somebody tagged me to somebody who used Power Query to connect to web and to clean up that data set. It's beautiful, and that is the power of Power BI, Power Query. So now let's go into the aggregation function. So Power BI has some aggregation functions, and we are going to go into the demo itself to see some of the things that Power BI is. Now, remember, this is introduction, a whole lot of introduction I'll be doing, so that when the all other MVPs are coming in, some things will not really be new to you, like it was to me for some years ago. So let's go into the demo itself. Okay. So I was having a challenge with my Power BI. It just slows up sometimes. So hopefully it doesn't slow up during this presentation. Let's see. Okay, now if you're new to Power BI, the first thing that you want to look at is which data set do I want to use to create a report. Even I want to just test Power BI. Now, what we've been able to do in Microsoft is to embed a data set for you to work with. And that is one of the most beautiful things the product team in Microsoft was able to do to help people understand Power BI. Now, if you look at my reports right now, there are three set of pages that I want you to look at. Now, the first page that you're looking at right now is the reports page. This is where all the visualization are being done. Every visualization that you see that they say, oh, it's Power BI. I love the pie chart. I love the bar chart. This is where it's been done. And the next page that you want to see now is the data page. Now, the data page or the data view, depending on what you want to call it, data view is where your data set stays and you can see your data set. And the third space is where we have the model view. And remember that we are going to be dealing with data modeling also in this series. So I really will not talk more about data modeling. But what you want to know about data modeling is that you're trying to connect different tables together. It's as simple as that. With the diagram that you're seeing on my screen right now, you understand that they are connecting to each other. So how do they connect? How do you know when to connect what to what is what we call the data modeling. And really, this is a Power BI series. This is not one-off series. So you need to be here every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. West African time. Yeah. So now, let's now see something. You're going to see something called the try a sample data set. We want to start with that. So if you have your Power BI, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, I want you to open Power BI and click on an empty Power BI and see that try a sample data set. That is what I want you to just click on. Try a sample data set. So we're going to click on that. So we want to be able to understand what is this data set is. So it gives us for us to load the sample data. We want to load the sample data. And right now, you're going to see something. So if you look at this, we have the first one that has financials and the second one is sheet one. But I want you to click on the financials. And we're clicking on the transform data. So you want to ask, what is the difference between load? The load is the one shaded with yellow, and the other one is transform data. When we mean load, we are saying, oh, Power BI, please, it is clean. I want to just start analyzing, and that is fine if you are sure that your data is complete. But if you are not sure, if your data is clean, but if you are not sure that your data is clean, please, I want you to click on transform data set. So now for me, I'm going to click on transform data set. Okay, so I'm using 3 screens, so it's actually changing from one screen to another. So I'm going to have to bring it back to my big screen. Okay, cool. So now let me increase this so that we all can see it. Okay, cool. So now this is very big enough. So now you're going to see the different. This is a full table, and this table, this data set. If you look at this data set, you can see that we have segment, country, we have different products, discount band, units sold, manufacturing price, sales price, discount, sales, cost of goods sold, product, date, month, year. Wow, that is a whole lot of data set. So this data set is what we want to analyze. But you want to ask, okay, David, where is this place? This is Power Query. This is not Power BI. This is Power Query. Power Query is embedded inside of Power BI. And Power Query is what we call the ETL tool, the extract, transform, and load tool. The extract means that it helps you take data set from different data sources Remember, the data sources is what you're doing next week. Wednesday, you're going to learn more about data sources. So depending on where the data source is, either it is in Excel, SQL, SharePoint, Dataverse, anywhere it is, Power Query helps you to take it in, and you can now start analyzing. You clean it up. Now, the next question you want to ask is that, is this data clean? How do you know that this data is clean? So now let me give you one of the rules for you to know that data is clean. The first rule is that no subtotal or total in your data set. So you have to look at that and say, okay, wait, let me check if they are subtotal or total. You have to remove them if you have that. First thing. Second thing is that no empty column or no empty rows. So first thing, no subtotal or total. Second one is no empty columns. Then the third one is no empty rows. You have to be sure that all these are rules that you must adhere to. The fourth one is that no. So let me remember now. Now no no. So I'm trying to remember that is. Let me check. So now all data sets must have its own column. So now if you look at country right now, imagine that this country has, imagine you put government. Government is a segment. Government is one segment. Imagine you put government inside of country. It doesn't make sense anymore. The data set does not work anymore. That means the data set becomes dirty. So every unique data set must be in its own unique column. You get? So, and also another rule is no distraction around your data set. Make sure that there's just no distraction, among around your data set. So now again, is which is one of the most important one. All dates must be in a single column. So let's go and check. Are all our dates in a single column? Let's check. All our data is in a single column. Okay, cool. It means that we are good to go. So now you know what we want to do now. So our data set is a little bit cool, and I think that we can work out something from here. So now in Power Query, the major thing you want to look at is data type. It's so important. Data type is so important. Data type is so important. Then the next thing is that, David, what is data type? Data types gives you the category of what a column is. So if I say a column is, so if you look at the first column right now, the first column is segment. Segment means that, oh, we have government, mid-market, we have channels, partners. They are text. They are text. So the data type is text. It's as simple as that, text. Then we have countries, Canada, France, Nigeria, USA. It's just text. But now, one thing now is that we have units sold. Units sold is supposed to be O number. It's just units sold, O number. So you know what I'm going to look at. But currently, how do you know which current data type is it having right now? So this is what I'm going to look at. So if you look at this right now, if you go up here, you're going to see it. It might be faint a little bit, but it has a decimal number. And if you look at this also, it has a 1.2. That is decimal. It's beside unit, so that decimal. So I'm going to now change it to say, oh, I want to change it to O number. I want to change to O number, and it's asking me for new step or replace current. What does it mean? You're going to know that in this whole Power series when they are cleaning data set, because there is a place called, there's one of the topics called a session that is called Power Query on its own. So, but we're going to click replace current. So because of time, I'm going to make sure that I change my sales price to fixed decimal. Now, what does it mean by fixed decimal? It means that I want it to be in the currency, data type. That's just what fixed decimal is, currency data type. Now, let's go in and do some analysis. Let's start doing some analysis. In the next 30 minutes, let's do some analysis and let's see what we have. Now, I'm taking it in to do some analysis. Now, remember, we said that data analysis has to do with you analyzing your data set to make informed decision. So we don't analyze reports because we want to build visualizations. No, we are analyzing reports because there are some business questions that we have to answer. It's as simple as that. There's some business questions that we have to answer. So what are the business questions do we think that we might want to answer? Now we are back here. Remember, I said there are three views in Power BI. Now, the three views is the first view, so it's still loading in. Let's wait a little bit. We said that the three views, we have the report view, the data view, and the model view. That's what we have. Now, also what you have up here, we call them ribbon interface. We call them the ribbon interface. So if you see right now, all these different things, we have home, insert, modeling view, and help. It's just like your word. You remember your word, you have home, insert, and those things like that. That's just how it is. So they are just ribbon interface. And now we come here, we have pane, P-A-N-E, pane. I hope I'm correct. Pane. So now we have the filter pane, we have the visualization pane, and we have the field pane. The filter pane is when you want to filter either you want to filter the visual, you want to filter the page, or you want to filter all the pages in the report. That is where the filter pane helps you to do. The visualization pane is where you visualize, you pick up your visualization that you want to use and you want to use to analyze your report. Then you have the field. The field is where those your data set that you brought in, that is where they stay. That is where they show you that, oh, they are stored. And so see them here. So you can see my financials is here already. So you can see them. Let me see if my control one will bring it out. Good. So now you can see that, and you can see the different columns that we have, and all of them are there. So now this is where we pick them up, pick them from. You remember if you do your pivot table in Excel, how you tick them. So that is where we are going to be looking at. And so now remember our three views. So these are our three views. Now we want to see the three views. So we said the data view itself. So see the data view. It's also giving us the data itself. So this is the data that we are looking at. So now let's go back and do some simple reports, just simple reports for us to see how data analysis work. Because going forward from next week Wednesday, then we'll start giving each one topic of the different parts of Power BI. We'll start treating them one by one. So now, the next question you want to ask yourself as a data analyst that what am I looking for in this data set? What is my goal in this data set? So for me, I want to see the different products and their sales. So what is the different product and by sales? So I want to see which product is actually selling more. That is the first thing that I want to see, because every company wants to know which of their products is selling more. So something like that. So now, there are different ways I can do that. I can start off by saying that, oh, I want to pick a visualization, a visual first. Then I pick the things that I need to give me my product and my sales. I can do that, or I just click product and sales and see which visualization that it gives me. So let me just pick the second one. Let me start from second one, product and my sales. Product and sales. That's what I did. I picked those two, product and sales. Okay, so immediately I do that, so it gives me 82,900. Okay, so that's just what it gives me, 82,900. That's just what it gives me. So I was like, okay, and in a table, but do we really want it to be in a table? So table might just not be the best way to, maybe might just not be the best way, depending on what you're trying to achieve. But for me, I'm going to now change it to a bar chart. I'm just going to change it to a column chart or a bar chart, depending on which one you feel that you might want to use. So let me use a bar chart. Okay, cool. So now this is our first report. As simple as this. This is our first report. Now, as simple as this, the first analysis that we've done is that, oh, we want to be able to see what is our sales price by product or by different product. And immediately we're able to know that Paseo let me just show it very well. The Paseo is giving us the highest sales. Now, you might want to ask and say, okay, David, why are you using bar chart? Why don't you use column chart? I'm going to show you the reason why sometimes. Now, sometimes when you use your column chart, the spelling of your product or of your category might not spell it full. So sometimes you might need to start bending your neck to see your analysis. So sometimes it's not, it's kind of bad. So let me show you what I mean when I say column chart and why I'm picking bar chart before column chart. So let me show you something. So I want to change it to a column chart. So now, good. So now if you look at this, I made it so big so that we can see it. But sometimes your report page have to need so many things. And sometimes when you start reducing your charts, you might notice that it gets smaller, and immediately gets smaller. The things that you're trying to see, you might not be able to see them that much. So now if you look at the chart right now, you see how it is. You might not like it this way. So it depends on what you're looking for. But if this is fine for you, but for me, I wouldn't pick this visual for this. So, but depending on what it is, but you can just change it into a column chart. So now, what a bar chart, you change it to a bar chart. What a bar chart will do for you, that is just going to give you the name straight up. So the name, you're going to see them full. No matter how you reduce it, the name still pops up full, and it's going to be very, very beautiful. So you see, clean and nice. Now you might say, oh, okay, David, I want to be able to see the prices. I can still see the prices. Yes, I know that partial is more than 20,000, but I want to see the price. So see. So let's try and see the prices, and let's see if you can analyze this report. So now I'm going to go to format. So there's something in Power BI that is called format. So I'm going to go to format. Now, if you're using the former version of Power BI, you might not have it this way. So just try and update so that you can have it in a very better way. So I'm going to on my data label. So there's so many other things that you can do, but this is simple. Just going to on my data label, and immediately we have the numbers. So this is the first report that we want to do. Now, the next question you want to ask is that where are we selling? Which countries are we selling more? Which country are we selling less? What are the things that we need to do for different countries? So I might still bring in, let me just bring in a column chart this time. Let me bring in a column chart. And in the column chart, I want to bring in the different countries. So let me go in and bring in countries. And let's say we want to see the sales price. Okay. So now, because it's sales price, no, let's bring in the gross sales itself, not the sales price. So we're going to remove sales price, and we're going to use the gross sales. Okay, good. So now say this. So now we have this. You notice United States have more sales than the other regions, but they are close by. But now you want to ask yourself the question that, okay, since we have that they are close by, can we actually correlate them when it comes to how many units sold in these different countries? Are we saying, because sometimes it might be because we sell more quantities to the United States of America, that is why we're actually having more sales. So let's see. Or maybe let's see if it correlates to the unit sold. Let's see. So now I'm going to bring in the quantity sold, the unit sold. But if I bring it in right now, see, remember I'm using column charts. Remember I'm using column charts. See, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The data analysis is not working. So what do I do to make sure that this gives me what I really want? So see what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it to a chart that can combine both the bar both the column chart and also a line chart. So I'm going to combine them together. So I'm going to change it right now to this. Now let me change it to a line and column chart. That's what I want to change it to, line and column chart. Then I'm going to take one of them. So let me take my unit so to the line value. Go to drag it a little bit to the line value. Good. See it now. Now look at it. It means that there's a whole new meaning to this, a whole new meaning to this analytics immediately. What does it mean? It means that we actually sell more to Canada, but we but but it is United States that is giving us more money, but we sell more to Canada based on quantity, but the revenue comes in from the United States, something like that. So are you saying that? So it's kind of different. But we don't even sell at all. Like we have low numbers of quantity that we sell to Germany, but it's still getting better than Mexico. And even I think even Germany even gives us more because uh, imagine you selling so low numbers, so low for the quantity in Germany, and is actually still even fighting with France and even Canada and even USA. So when you are comparing them, actually, I think that if you increase the quantity in Germany, actually you're going to have higher sale as compared to all other countries. Now, this is where data analysis comes in. And this is how you begin to analyze your data sets and you begin to ask yourself so many questions. So many questions. You're asking yourself so many questions. Now, one of the beautiful things about Power BI is the AI embedded in Power BI. And the AI, I just want to show you just one thing about the AI embedded in Power BI. So one of them is actually where we say you are trying to explain the increase and decrease, or you're trying to explain the distribution. And so you're going to look at this right now. I'm going to go to let's say the peak of our units sold. I'm going to go there in Canada and I'm going to right click it. I'm going to right click it. So now when I right click it, now I'm going to see something they call analyze. So analyze, I want to use the analyze. Now I want to understand why do we have the different distribution? Why are the distribution different? So we want to find where is the distribution different. Now this is what is going to happen. Power BI will go to all my data sets, and start giving me the reason why we have the different distribution and what it changed. Why did it change the most in different countries? So now we are going to now start seeing them. Now, why is it high? So now you're going to start seeing the different reason why we have this report when you're trying to compare from different countries and different regions. So now you're going to start seeing if unit sold is being if unit sold as 12. That means if you have more quantity for 12, how does it affect? So I think maybe the more sales that you have, the more quantity, the more it affects the distribution. So now this is how Power BI helps you to improve on your reports, because these are questions that you might ask or that might be asked from your line manager, from your CEO, from your director, to reason why these products are being sold this way or this particular way. Now, sometimes you might want to have some series. How do you understand series when it comes to time series? How do you understand time series? Now, one of the things that we do when understanding series is for you to look at the line chart. The line chart helps you to do time series. So, what do we say when we mean by time series? We have the month analysis, the quarter analysis, the date analysis. Anything that has to do with date, we call it the time series. So now this we're just going to do a little bit of time series. I'm trying to check my time so that I don't talk too much. So now we're going to look at time series. So let's bring out the month. Let's bring out the month. Now see, and we are bringing out the sales. We're bringing out the sales, but gives us in a uh, give us. If you notice, our first month is April. I don't want our first month to be April. I want it to start from January, not April. So some of us have these issues. So because one thing is that Power BI is looking at it. If you look at my screen correctly now, Power BI is looking at it from letter A, B, C, D, E, F, then to Z. But I want it to start from January. So how do we tweak that a little bit? How do we do that? So I'm going to go to my data view. I'm going to go to my data view. I'm going to go to my data view. I'm going to go to my month. So I want my month. There's something called sort by. I want you to sort by my month number. I want you to sort by my month number. So if there are other questions, please, let me know. Usam, so let me know so that I can also answer them. So now we're going to do sort by month number. Now, immediately I do that, everything should be okay. Immediately I do that, I think we should have okay from January. So I think it's still loading. Good. So now if you look at my chart right now, we now have January, February, March, April, May, June, July. And so we are good. So now, but I don't want it to be this way. I want it to be in a line graph. Remember, a line graph is better for time series. So I'm going to change it to a line graph. Yeah, good. So now I'm going to increase it a little bit. Yes. Wow. So now look at it. It means that most of our sales, most of the time picks up from like Q3, Q4. Our January to March is always bad. But from June, like half year to the others, I think it always just go up from there. So, but we might just want to say, okay, let's assume that we want to see the different years that we have these things for us to be able to analyze this thing properly. So let's look at the year. Let's look at the year for us to analyze this properly. Into slicers. Let me see this. Okay, good. So now I want to change it to a list. Yes. So let's change to a list, and we have 2013, 2014. So immediately I click on 2013. So remember, our analysis in 2013 is just September, October, November, December. Now, this helps you understand better why we are making much sale at the end of the year from September upward. It means that we're actually not making much sales in September, October. It's just having that because we started selling in September last year. So if you add the ones that we have within September last year to the September of this year and October, November, December, you're going to say that we're going to have a spike. And you have to take note of that. But now when we have the normal full year in 2014, then the next thing is that how did we get better? It still shows that we have in the half year, it still shows that we have better reward in the half year. It still shows that we have better reward in the half year. So now these are all the analysis that you're trying to look at to be sure that, oh, okay, so this is what we have. And like even in this my chart right now where we have gross sales, I can bring in the units sold. And I might want to put my units sold into my secondary values to be able to look at this. So now this is us recreating relationship. I want to say, okay, so is it that because we have more sales by units sold, is it that's why we have higher? So you want to check that. So if you look at that, if you notice that between June, the month that we are selling, the more we have more sales. The lower we have, lower. So now I think there is a little bit of correlation between June to December than between January to June. So these are the analytics that you're doing, and all we are doing right now is data analysis. But there are different levels of data analysis that we're doing. So right now we're just doing more of the normal analytics using Power BI. Using Power BI, that is what we're just doing. But there are other levels of you when we're working with DAX, when we're working with data modeling, because right now we didn't do anything on data modeling. So all what we just do is just to analyze the simple reports. But when we start working on the different analysis, using data modeling, using AI visuals, working with DAX, then we start seeing different parts of the analytics that Power BI can offer going forward. So with this, so in the next 4 minutes, which I'm going to round up in the next 4 minutes, I just want to try and clean up this a little bit so that we can have a full-blown report, something like that. So let's look at this. What I want to do here. So now I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Then I'm going to take this a little bit. I'm going to take it down a little bit. So my system is slow. So let's look at this. Take this, please take this to the right. Okay, good. So now I want to bring in card visual. Card visual is so important because it just gives you a simple a simple number of what you might be looking at. So good. So right now it just shows that this is the number that we have that we're using when it comes to the gross sales that we have for the total. This is just for only 2014. So if we click for 2013, and it's interactive because immediately I start slicing my year, every other report begins to work the same way, the same way. So, and that is how beautiful Power BI Power BI is. So I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. And let me see what we have here. So now this report is just easy for you to get. So you can go and check your own, just open your Power BI and just start playing with it. I would love to see your reports. Post it on Twitter, on LinkedIn, set and tag me. I would love to see the report you're able to create using this data set. And it's just free. Just get your Power BI working and you're good to go. So this is what we have, and we might want to look at let's say we have the gross sales, we have the units sold. How many quantity? What is the quantity that you might want to look at in your data sets? Because one thing is that is either you are summing or you are counting in your reports majorly. You are counting how many transactions happen in your company, or you are counting or you are summing the values of those transactions. So those are the two major things that you're trying to look at. So if you're doing that, you have to start looking at your count. You have to start knowing how to use your count rows. And I can't wait for the DAX class, because the DAX class is going to show you some of these little things that you need to know. So this is it. Major thing that you're trying to do: your sales price by product, gross sales. You're trying to do this. You can do so many things. Also, we can even look at our segments. Remember, we don't even know which segment is even selling more. We want to know which segment, so I can bring in segment, and also and by profit. Where did we even get more of our profit? Which of the segments gave us more of our profit? It might be something that might we might want to look at. So now see this right now. Okay. So I can use the a bar chart to explain this. Now, if you look at this right now, one is going back, one is going forward. Look at this. So let me show you. Enterprise is giving us negative. Enterprise is giving us negative. That's just what it shows. So it means that when we sell to the enterprise, we really don't get much profit from them. But when we sell to the government, small business, channel partners, mid market, we get more profit from those people than the enterprise. So the next question is that what do we do to our enterprise customers that we sell to? So these are the things that Power BI helps you to get and helps you to analyze. I hope that this class or this session has given you an idea of how beautiful Power BI is and how simple this report is for you to be able to understand Power BI as a whole. So I'm done with my reports. I'm done with analysis for today, introduction to data analysis. So hopefully I see you next class when we start talking about the different data sources that we have in Power BI and how you're able to connect to them. Usam, hope you're here.
Yes, I'm here. Well, thank you, David, for the session today and for, again, this partnership where we are going throughout the coming weeks, 8 different parts. Today is the kickoff and the first session. We're going to go over the different parts of Power BI and learn all about it. And I've been looking at the comments and the locations that the community members have been joining us here, and it is very interesting to see how some are joining, many are joining from Africa, and some are from Europe or Brazil. I see that as well. So
Wow.
it's gonna be fun and interesting journey. As a next step, there are a few things that I would love everyone to do. Is that all on the screen? Can I take it down?
Okay, so let me just share the let me share this. So if you want to learn more about the things that we've done right now, you can look at them now. If you can just write this down, or you can you can put it in the chat, YouTube chat. You can learn this what we did in this class. You can just learn it from those two different modules there, and you can pick it up from there and you can learn this. And when we meet in next class, we'll always have learning resources for each of those classes so that you come and learn and you pick it up from there and you begin to improve on your Power BI knowledge.
Awesome. So these are the main, let's say, Learn modules. So Microsoft Learn is a beautiful resource where you can continue the learning journey and find interesting modules and learn paths. And David is recommending those two for you to continue the journey after the session. So throughout the coming sessions as well, we will be highlighting different modules and different paths for you to continue the journey. So keep an eye on that. I also shared the link in the chat where you can find the next session that is part of the series. So again, same time, same day, every week for the next coming 7 weeks, including
Yeah,
today.
7 weeks.
Yeah. So we're gonna come together here to learn from David and from the Microsoft MVPs all about this beautiful sort of area of technology. Uh, yeah, well, excited for the coming sessions as well, David. Thanks again for joining us, and thanks for everyone who took time today to join us on the live. All the sessions that we do are streamed and go directly on our YouTube channel. Just look for the Microsoft Reactor on YouTube and you'll find the recording there straight after today's session. You will also be benefiting a lot from being part of the community in Meetup. So if you are on Meetup and you're not yet on our group, just search for Microsoft Reactor Middle East and Africa and you'll find the group. Join it, RSVP to the sessions that we have in the series, and also we'll have diverse topics as well that you can explore and learn. And that's it all. Thanks again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Take care,
Yeah.
everyone.
Why?